Good morning. This video is to help support you with the standard homework for S-93. So we are given a situation and a table, and we're looking at graphing this table. So let's look at the situation together. I'm going to start on this second sentence here. Troy made a table displaying how many home runs Wire hit during his first 5 seasons. Graph Troy's data. So we have season 1 to 5 here and how many home runs his favorite player hit. So in order to graph that, we're going to set up our X and Y axes. Mine's going to be a little messy. You guys can do it in your notebook with a straight edge and or with some graph paper. I noticed that the seasons and the home runs are all positive, so I'm only going to have to work in my first quadrant. So I'm going to draw my graph just like this. And I know that this is my origin, 0. I have my x-axis. I have my y-axis like a yo-yo up and down. I know that my x-axis, I'm going to label that here, and I'm going to label my home runs my y-axis because that's my independent. So I go from 1 to 5. I want to make sure that I split my axes equally for each season. Do this pretty carefully so that it's nice and equal. Otherwise, my graph won't come out correct. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's label them to make it clear. And of course, we need to label our axes with what we're talking about, which is seasons. And I know you guys will have much neater handwriting than me. Then I'm going to look at home runs. Now my home runs, the range goes from the lowest of 6 to the highest of 13. So I'm not going to go by ones going up because that I won't be able to fit 13 hash marks in. I'm going to go, let's say I could go by 2s or 3s. Why don't I go by 3s? So I'm going to say from here to here is 3. So I have to make it equal, an equal interval. So that would be 6. This would be 9. And then finally, this last hash mark is going to be 12. So I'm equal intervals and I have equal spacing. And I want to label my y-axis as home runs. So if you chose to do your labels different, like if you did it by ones, your graph is going to be slightly different, but also accurate, just because I scrunched mine up due to my spacing. Okay, so now let's graph. So in the first season, there were 6 home runs. So I'm going to say season 1 up to 6 home runs. In the second season, there were 9 home runs. So in my second season, I'm going to 9 home runs. In my third season, so then in season 3, there's 13 home runs. So I'm going to say season 3 and go up. And this is going to be an estimate. It's slightly above 12, so 13 home runs. Season 4, we go back down to 7 home runs. So season 4, right above 6, 7 home runs. And then finally, season 5, there's 9 home runs. So season 5, I want to go, so I'm lining it up with 9 home runs right here. And on your graph paper, you'll be able to see those lines a little easier. So here's a scatter plot with the number of home runs per season. And the scatter plot can easily show us that in season 3, Mo hit the most number of home runs. I hope this video helps. Go ahead and watch the second video for the second problem on your homework.